dancers. I ain't got the drummers and that.
No.
I'm all about the blood. You know, we got to turn up.
The
you know,
blood.
It's all about rage and just like the.
Who's bleeding on stage?
I mean, you know, I'm not bleeding, but the fans are like
I feel you.
giving their bodies. Bleeding, but the fans are like
I feel you.
giving their bodies. Bleeding, fans are like
I feel you.
giving their bodies.
On November 5th, 2021, 50,000 people entered NRG Stadium grounds excited to attend Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival. Approximately 300 of those people were injured, 25 hospitalized, and 10 people, including a 9-year-old child, would tragically lose their lives at the event. All deaths and injuries basically being caused by massive crowd surges and cramped conditions, the victims basically being asphyxiated or trampled. Now, when I'm researching anything related to the paranormal, true crime, conspiracies, anything like that, rarely am I bothered. I guess probably like a lot of you, I'm a little desensitized at this point, but anytime I went to research this topic, read any of the witness statements, or watch any of the footage, I had this horrible, anxious, sick feeling. While searching this exact topic online, I found other people talking about this same dark feeling they got anytime they watched any of the videos, like while the event was happening. A lot of people claiming that this event was a dark ritual and was so powerful that they were warning other people in the community to not watch any of the footage. There's a lot of footage I'd love to show you of witnesses talking about what they saw. Like, one girl said that there was a portal opening up above the event. An EMT said that there was at least 30 fatalities at the event, but all of that footage has been scrubbed. So when this tragedy occurred, accusations immediately went wild, ranging from the venue being way over capacity and causing these unsafe conditions, to Travis Scott ignoring the pleas for help from the crowd, all the way to the entire event being a mass ritual sacrifice. It is kind of confusing because at first news outlets reported that 70,000 people were in an area that was only rated to hold 20,000 people. But it's been confirmed that there were around 50,000 people in an area that was rated to hold 70,000 people. But the 70,000 number is the number of people that the stadium in its entirety can hold. And I don't think people are putting into perspective that the entirety of the 50,000 people that were in attendance were all in one area. The event was just kind of crazy from the start. When they started letting people in, it was chaos, and a large group of people took advantage of that chaos and just knocked down barricades and ran in without tickets. Starting the night of the tragedy, a lot of the attendees were reporting some very weird things going on. Before and after the whole tragedy unraveled, people were tweeting and making TikToks about a very strange, off-putting low frequency that was being emitted into the stadium grounds for like 6 or 7 hours leading up to the concert. Another absolutely nightmarish report comes from a young woman seeing people getting crushed and being unable to breathe in the crowd, and she barely makes it out herself onto a side stage area. And once she was up there, she begged multiple venue staff and people who were probably on Travis Scott's staff to call the police, call the paramedics. People are hurt and dying down there, but none of them would listen to her. They were all just kind of entranced, not paying attention to her. And then some of them started trying to push her back into the crowd and off the stage. There are clips from in between songs where you can hear people screaming for help and screaming out in pain, but it's just mixed in with people cheering. But the weird part is, you can see Travis Scott just kind of staring off into the crowd and looking all around. Another man uploaded his story of desperately trying to fish people out of the crowd onto a VIP platform because he was trying to save their lives. You could see that they were asphyxiating. But the people on the VIP platforms just couldn't be bothered. They didn't seem to care. He was telling them people are dying, but they just kept trying to shove people back into the crowds because they hadn't paid for VIP seating. At the time of the event and over the next couple days, it was reported that 8 had died, even though 10 had died. But that number 8 was parroted over and over by every major news agency. And this number 8 will be very important later. Many point out the likeness of Astroworld's design choices to classic renditions of Hell like this, and its resemblance to The Harrowing of Hell painted by Hieronymus Bosch in the late 15th century. Oddly enough, the event had a 56-page mass casualty event and emergency response plan, where they referred to potential dead concertgoers as Smurfs, instructing staff to refer to any potential fatalities as Smurfs over the radio. Which, yeah, it seems a little off color, but when looked at a little bit closer, reveals yet another occult reference. Smurfs' main villain, Gargamel, is a warlock that uses black magic as a weapon against the Smurfs, using symbols like the pentagram to conjure dark spirits. He even names his cat Azazel, which is another name of the Angel of Death. In another weird detail, on November 6th, the police chief, Troy Finner, announced that a security guard felt a pinprick in his neck right before he passed out. And they couldn't get him to wake up, and they had to give him Narcan to revive him, which instantly worked. And after reviving him, paramedics found a small wound in the back of his neck from where he was assumedly injected. Then there's the theory of 8. So I'm sure other creators have made videos about this too, but I originally saw it on the TikTok KMS Presents. So at the festival, Travis played his new song, Escape Plan, and during that performance, there were 8 pillars of fire surrounding him with a giant all-seeing eye scanning the crowd. Initially, as you know, the next day, everyone was reporting that there were 8 victims. At the time of the tragedy, Travis Scott's first mixtape was 8 years old. And his first EP came out in 2008. And it's at this point that it becomes kind of unhinged crazy, but also almost undeniably linked. Like I said, Travis dropped a song on the day of the festival called Escape Plan. And in the music video for Escape Plan that also dropped the day of the festival, he's wearing a Pearl Jam shirt. Well, Pearl Jam also had a tragedy at a festival in the year 2000, where 50,000 fans crowded into Denmark's Roskilde Festival. While Pearl Jam was playing this festival, 8 of their fans asphyxiated and passed away. Rolling Stone magazine called it a rock and roll hell. And this is Pearl Jam's merch for their 2000 tour that they were on when this happened. An 8 with an eye in the middle of it. In numerology and astrology, the number 8 applies to Saturn, as during its orbit, it is 888,888,888 miles away from the Sun at 2 different times. Saturn also has a massive, permanent hexagon-shaped storm on its surface. Sound engineers have looked at pictures of the rings of Saturn and said that they resemble pictures of audio waves. Cymatics is the study of the physics of sounds and their visual representations. Remember that low-frequency sound people were reportedly hearing for 6 or 7 hours before the show started? Well, several cymatics experiments have successfully formed hexagon shapes using these tables of sand or water and vibrating them with low frequencies, frequencies that make people uncomfortable or even angry.
Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just alter the equalizer on that clip, sound clip, Travis Scott concert sound clip, just so you can see what that bass is like. Alright, so we'll click on it here. This is Audiolab, it's called. It's a free one for your phone. Right, first thing I'm going to do is just lower all the different equalizer bands. Right.
3 hours later.
So now they're all at the lower setting. right? And then I'm just going to gradually raise each one up until the bass is quite sort of prominent and you can hear what it is. I'm not altering it in any other way apart from just enhancing the bass, all right?